The Middle East, a region that has experienced severe turbulence in recent months and years. But hidden on the southeastern edge of the Arabian Peninsula lies a country that rarely makes disturbing headlines. A nation known not for chaos but for calm. A nation that follows a path very different from its neighbors. In this video we will take a journey through one of the most overlooked countries in the Middle East, Oman. Before coming here, I had a connecting flight in UAE and I spent several days in Abu Dhabi. And as soon as you cross the border to Oman, the atmosphere changes so much. Unlike its busier neighbors, Oman remains unspoiled and untouched by mass tourism, offering a chance to experience genuine Arabian culture. I started my journey in the capital Muscat, one of the oldest cities in the Middle East. Historically, it was an important hub along maritime trade routes and was even controlled by the Portuguese Empire in the 16th century. Today, the city is known for its low-rise white architecture, grand mosques, vibrant souks, local markets, and a stunning coastline between the mountains and the sea. A place that I really loved was the Daymaniyat Islands, a group of 9 protected islands located about 40 kilometers northwest of Muscat. One of Oman's best spots for snorkeling, diving, and pristine beaches. I was invited here by Beyond Tours Oman, along with my American comrade, who turns out to be a great drone pilot. Let's see what he's got there. Nizwa is the cultural heart of Oman and it was once the capital of the country. It's known for the famous Nizwa fort, a massive 17th century fortress with a huge circular tower that used to protect the city from invaders. Nearby the fort, there is the traditional Nizwa souk, Every Friday, local farmers gather to buy and sell livestock in a lively open-air auction. Recently, this comrade and I bought a donkey in Tajikistan because obviously it's very important and necessary to have a donkey.
Super useful.
And now we're considering to buy a goat in Oman. What do you think?
I think we need to learn how to check the quality.
This is good. It's different price, but you take from the barbecue from the family Oman, from each, is enough.
Is super crazy, and the locals, they know how to choose their goats super fast, and they bought all the best ones, so now only small ones left. And they explained to me how to make barbecue, but I don't want to make barbecue with them. I just want to hang out with them, like with my donkeys. So I think I will not get a goat this time. We didn't buy any animals this time and headed to our next destination, Jebel Akhdar.
Okay, now I'm cold. Back now then.
Давай. Давай.
For cafe. I am already in the cafe.
You're ahead of us.
I'm so hungry.
Mashallah, mom, your picture is same as Putin. King Putin. Your photo picture.
Yeah.
Small Putin.
Мой рюкзак в metro. My backpack is in the metro. Wow, 100%.
Oh, good.
We're so good at Russian. Хорошо.
Good. Хорошо, спасибо. This is a village that is famously that is for pomegranates and for that is another fruit. But careful, focus on the way. Okay, focus on the way. Huh?
Focus.
Focus on the way.
On the way, on the
Focus
front.
is coming soon.
Stand here. Okay.
Jebel Akhdar means the green mountain. Unlike most of Oman's desert landscape, Jebel Akhdar has cooler climate, green terraces and mountain farms. What makes farming here special is the use of ancient terrace agriculture. Local farmers carve flat steps into the steep mountain slopes, creating small fields where crops can grow without the soil washing away. These terraces have been used for hundreds of years and allow villagers to grow food in a very challenging landscape.
Focus on the way, not see that left. Yeah, because there is one mistake, goodbye.
Another beautiful hidden spot in the Al-Hajar Mountains is Al-Huta Cave that offers a glimpse into the country's hidden underground world. The cave is estimated to be over 2 million years old. One of the most unique features of Al-Huta is its lakes and a rare blind cave fish, which has adapted to live in complete darkness. In search of more nature, we headed to explore several wadis, the Wadi Shab and Wadi Bani Khalid. Wadi are dry river valleys that fill with water during the rainy season, creating stunning natural oases in the desert landscape. This definitely was my favorite spot in the country and one of the most fun hikes, where hiking involves swimming some parts of the route.
My favorite part about Oman are these amazing wadis where you can swim across these rocks and small pools with waterfalls and climb on rocks and go way up into the canyon just by swimming. And then at the bottom here, all these fish are eating my dead skin off my body. It's just like a spa treatment. It's probably the most fun swimming I've ever had in my entire life. And there's two places like this in the country, and both of them are extraordinarily beautiful in their own ways. So I'm so happy to be in this place where I thrive so much. So this is definitely my highlight of the trip.
There was one more highlight to come, the Wahiba Sands, a place to experience the true beauty of the Arabian desert. There are no rising skyscrapers or overwhelming luxury like in the neighboring Emirates. But as I traveled through Oman, I felt something else, a sense of quiet and calm that is hidden in its traditions and carried by the winds of the desert. And I think in today's world, this sense might be the greatest luxury of all.